In 2017, Esker created a new department to make sure we are meeting all of the needs of our customers. Thus, our customer experience team was born. It's grown from a one-person department here in the USA way back when. And so now we have 17 folks here in the States, as well as teams and resources in France, Germany, Italy, Malaysia, Spain, the UK, and Australia. So not only is it the 5-year anniversary of Esker starting a CX team, it's also the official CX day on October 4th. So for this podcast, we thought, why not bring on a couple folks who work not only on our CX team, but also a couple of our other teams that are customer facing and interact with CX on a daily basis. We'd like to talk with them about some of their customer experiences as well. I'm Scott Leahy, and this is Esker On Air. Today, I'd like to introduce Angie Hoffman, Elly Klawitter, and Alex Garcia, all people who are better at their job than I am. As some of you might know, I'm a CX rep as well, but you hear my voice week in and week out, so thought it'd be a good idea to bring on some new folks here. So, welcome everyone to the podcast, and happy CX Day.
Happy CX Day.
Yeah, thanks, Scott. Happy CX
Happy
Day.
CX Day, everyone.
Well, really quick, just some intros here. How about each of you introduce yourself? Let the listeners know how long you've been at Esker and what your role is here.
My name is Angie Hoffman. I am the product owner for order management at Esker. I manage the product backlog and coordinate team assignments and help prepare our customers for project implementation. And I actually just celebrated my 20th year at Esker.
My name is Elly Klawitter, and I've been with Esker for almost a year now. I work on the customer experience team as a P2P onboarding advocate, which means I work with customers for their first 90 days after transitioning out of a project.
And then my name is Alex Garcia. I'm part of Esker's support team here. I work primarily with the order management solution.
So, what exactly does customer experience mean to you guys, and what makes it different than, say, customer service, a term we've heard quite a bit over the years?
I would say I think customer experience is more proactive instead of reactive. I'm in the professional services department, and we work with customers to implement our solutions. We also interact with the sales department by providing the pre-sales support, and then we have an internal handoff as we pick up new customer projects. And then as part of the project closure, we introduce the key contacts at our customer locations to our CX, our customer experience team. I think this process provides continuous service and support to our customers as we work with the sales process, the project implementation, and then continued solution support. So I think that's a big difference than the customer service seems to be more, they're waiting for you to need some assistance.
Yeah, I think most people hear customer service and think about answering a question or finding a fix and then going about your day. But to me, customer experience goes much further than that. It's about creating a relationship with the customer, helping them feel understood and valued, while also helping them grow and improve on their goals over a longer period of time. And because of those relationships we create, their success ultimately feels like our success. It's not just a random person on the other end of the call creating a quick fix solution who you'll never hear from again. It's someone advocating for the customer and working internally with a number of teams to ensure we're giving the best possible answers, explanations, and support.
Yeah, I think the others have said something very similar to my sentiment on this, that customer service seems something more akin to what our support team's doing, where we're there ready to help if something goes wrong. And then customer experience kind of works hand in hand with that, allowing our customers to feel like they're really being propped up and having good relationships built with Esker.
Great. Well, kind of a two-sided question here. What would you say some of the benefits are from both maybe the Esker side and also the customer side to having a dedicated customer experience team?
From my perspective, I would say the Esker benefits of having a CX team is it's better partnerships with our customers by the continued support after project completion and oftentimes in between projects. So a customer may come to us for one solution to be implemented, then they use it for a while, and then they'll come back later. But in between, they're taken care of by the customer experience team. The reverse of the customer benefits of having an Esker CX team, I see that as CX helps our customers enhance and expand their use of the Esker solution or the solutions that they're using. CX can provide reporting assistance, auto learning best practice, refresher training. There's all sorts of stuff that they help. And I feel with having a customer experience team, our customer can really expand the solution that they just implemented and they really use it to their fullest.
The customer experience team definitely allows there to be a flow of productive communication about the customer's needs with other internal Esker departments, especially after transitioning from a project. Because our role in CX heavily involves direct communication with the customer, we hear about their short-term and long-term goals, get to know them, and spend the most time with them on calls understanding those needs. This gives other teams such as Esker Solution Support and Professional Services, two teams that I work closely with, a direct contact internally to ask questions when necessary and better understand items surrounding that customer, so we're all on the same page. In turn, this also benefits the customer in many ways. Our customers don't have to worry about bringing another team up to speed on their goals or project because of that internal communication we keep. Everyone's in the loop and utilizes CX to better understand the customer and their project. Also, I know customers often worry about wrapping up their project and therefore feeling like they're left on their own from there. But in reality, that's exactly why CX benefits our customers. Our goal is to ensure they feel supported and have the resources and assistance to better equip themselves for understanding Esker and overall process improvement.
Yeah, for customer experience, it does definitely a good job of keeping customers feeling like they're able to make good progress and have, forethought into what exactly it is that they're trying to do in the future and making sure that things are continually stable. A way that that benefits Esker a lot as well, take for example support. We tend to kind of get the negative side of that a lot of the time where customers are frustrated. They're feeling like, they really need some extra help. And so having the balance between the two keeps a nice ebb and flow where customers then get the assistance that they need. And then CX is there to back that up and make them feel like they are completely supported and try to build good relationships if something had gone wrong recently for them.
So what kind of skills or traits did you folks have before working here or before joining these teams that help make you successful at customer experience, and maybe why?
Well, as I mentioned, I've been with Esker for a really long time, so before seems a long time ago. But over the course of my career here, I found that the best skills for a good customer experience, my top three are honesty, empathy, and excellent communication, with the top being communication. That is just key for no matter what you're doing. If you're working on a project with a customer for implementing it, if you're kicking it off, if you're handing them over to our customer experience team, and even internally as our professional services group works with customer experience and our Esker Solution Support team, all of that, if you don't have good communication, I don't think you have a good experience.
Yeah, all of my work experience before joining Esker was customer facing. So I worked in many different settings and saw several different approaches to working with customers. So I feel those experiences gave me a lot of confidence and understanding in providing a positive, productive relationship with customers. I've especially appreciated honing those skills at Esker with their personable approach to the customer experience. I think the one skill that makes a good customer experience employee is knowing how to make the customer feel heard and valued while simultaneously helping to make their processes the best they can be.
Yeah, and I had previously worked in retail as well as hardware repair for computers, things like that. And traditionally, when you're working with customers regularly, you'll be able to get a feel that they'll understand if you're kind of being fake about it. And I like to think that the way that support approaches our cases, the way that CX approaches their interactions with customers, it really is that genuine feeling of somebody is actually helping you and you're not getting an automated response. And I feel like on both ends, that's appreciated. Customers tend to reciprocate in a way that is beneficial to both parties and makes it just an overall more enjoyable experience.
Well, as I mentioned at the start of the podcast, everyone that we're interviewing here is on a different team at Esker, though you all do customer facing work. I'm curious what range of requests you're seeing. Is there a basic one, and what would that be? Does it take more involvement with other team members or departments?
Yeah, I would say from the professional services team, following project closure, where the PS team, we kind of go to the background because we're handing our customer over to our customer experience and our solution support teams, we've seen anything from, just a basic technical issue, they have reporting questions, they want additional enhancements or to discuss them. So it's kind of a huge range between that. But what I like is the professional services team, while we go to the background, we continue to work with our support and our CX teams. So we are still giving support to our customer. And one, I guess, a real basic example is, let's say the customer has an issue, they go to Elly because they have questions about, they think it's an issue or they don't know what it really is. She may reach out to our support group and figure out, is it really a technical issue that needs to be handled by them? Or maybe it was something that was done by the project management team. And so they may come to us and then ask questions. So what I really like is we all try to support each other internally. So ultimately we're giving our customer, full support, full circle, whether they're working with customer experience directly and then the other two teams are behind the scenes, or vice versa.
I see a variety of requests from all of my customers. Day-to-day requests I receive are things like assistance with building reports to gain visibility on certain data, basic understanding questions, and how-to questions. An example of a larger request I receive would be something like building workflows. These often require me to deliberate with others on the CX team, but also other teams internally every now and then if we run into any obstacles while applying these workflows, depending on how their project was set up or any customizations they might have. Sometimes when a workflow doesn't pan out exactly how we'd hoped, we sort of are working with others on my team and other departments who can help identify those roadblocks or even other possible routes to take. So it's really helpful in the end.
Yeah, and to add on to that, like Ellie was saying, I think support gets quite a bit of a variety in terms of what the range can be for things that we see coming across for customer interactions as well. More basic is just, general supporting anything that seems like an open and closed issue that the customer is having. But I think the customer really notices our involvement and the impact of how good the customer experience is when we have some of those more difficult and tricky critical problems. Being able to pull back the curtain, jump into a call with the customer, something like that, really lets them know that when things start to get rough, we're definitely here for them.
Okay, well, let's boost each of your egos here for a moment. So, the reason that you were asked to be on this podcast here today, we were looking for people who qualified based on, some pretty recent positive customer reviews that we've received. So, I'm going to read the feedback we got for each of you, and then ask you, what is the one or two things that made this a successful experience for the customer? So a recent comment we got from one of our P2P customers for Elly was Elly was fantastic and did her utmost to meet our needs. So Elly, one or two things, what led to that feedback and that positive customer experience?
Yeah, this was a great example of a productive and positive onboarding experience with a customer. I think one of the most notable things that made this such a successful experience was the customer's level of engagement and commitment to working with me. We communicated in one way or another every single week and worked on a variety of items collaboratively. It was always great to see customers taking advantage of the time that they have with CX and work out any questions or needs they have accordingly. At the end of our time together, they ultimately feel in a better place and more confident with their solution, being self-sufficient and using Esker itself, which was definitely the case with this customer.
And Alex, you're up next. So we heard from one of our OM customers. You cannot improve with Alex. He is amazing. Love this guy. Wish he could be assigned to all of my cases. He's the absolute best. So that one's glowing. Alex, what led to this result?
Yeah, I felt that it was kind of perfect that you put boost your egos in the beginning of this, just because initially when I had received this response, I was completely blown away. I definitely did not even think that it was for me, so I had to actually go in and confirm that. And yeah, I don't think that there was anything specific done out of the ordinary. I think it's just this is a good example where a customer is getting consistent assistance from us. It's high quality and we're friendly. And this is just them showing that they really appreciate that consistency and high level effort that we're putting into resolving their issues.
Yeah, and now a final one. This is for Angie, a project that you worked on from one of our OM customers. Project planning and management was very good with Trent, and technical resource Jason was excellent. So sounds like this was a project with a lot of people involved. Can you outline what led to this positive review?
Yeah, and I can just clarify a little. I wasn't on this one. I think I'm just here representing the project management side, the professional services group. But from that statement, Trent is one of our engagement managers, also known as a project manager, and Jason Peck is one of our product consultants. I would say what made a good experience for the customer is that they both are very professional. We have processes in place in how we implement our projects, how we manage them. And we also, besides the solution experience, we're really big on the professional services side and consultative approaches. So we want to make sure we're having conversations with the customer and doing what's best for them. We don't just, our answers aren't just, yes, we'll do this, yes, we'll do this while your budget's gone. It's more of a, let's discuss what your needs, make sure we really understand them, and we deliver, what's best for you guys. So again, that's where that communications comes up. But I've heard great things about Trent and Jason from other projects too. So this was really nice to see.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much again to Angie, Elly, and Alex for joining us today and sharing those experiences. We also want to send a huge thank you to all of the CX employees and the customer-facing employees out there. And finally, thank you to our listeners for joining us, and of course, our customers as well. Our teams wouldn't exist without you. But in the meantime, stay safe, everyone, and we'll see you next time.